Hello. Hi, y'all. Oh, you know what? Pin my title first and foremost. And come on, pen. There we go. Okay, so this time I didn't forget to give you guys the title of the book before I started. Hi guys. So today is day 3. Technically it's day 4 for me, but day 3 for a lot of you. Of my Purpose-Driven Life challenge. So we are doing a book study of the book A Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren, and I'm just basically coming on here every day and giving a recap of what I read, what I took from it, and hoping that it will encourage you guys to do the same. So I read chapter 3, and chapter 3 is basically about what drives you. So obviously the book is about what is your purpose, finding your purpose, how to live in your purpose. And it's a spiritual book for those of you that do not know. Very much about if you want to find your purpose, look to no other than the Creator himself. So whether your creator can be found in the Bible, whether your creator can be found in the Torah, the Quran, wherever it can be found. So I wanted to start with the Serenity Prayer. Now, something that's interesting to me is that the audio portion of chapter 3 talked about the Serenity Prayer. And when I was a therapist and I was doing therapy for rehabs, I was working with a lot of drug addicts and people that were looking to eventually lead a life in recovery. And they live by the Serenity Prayer. They actually say it before every single AA meeting or Narcotics Anonymous meeting. It's something that's just a part of that community. So the Serenity Prayer usually ends on the 3rd sentence. And usually, what you guys have probably heard is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, to courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And he even said that usually it stops right there, and then that's it. We don't hear anything else about it. But the real power of the Serenity Prayer actually comes from what comes after that. And after that, you hear so the next line is, living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as Jesus did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. Amen. So what I took out of that is basically, this life is only a small portion of the bigger picture. The bigger picture is life in eternity, so whatever comes after that. And I don't know what you guys believe, but I personally believe that this is just the beginning, that everything that comes after we're getting prepared for now. So not only getting prepared for, but it's kind of like our tests and to see who's going to make it to the next realm. So if that's true, and like I said, that's what I believe. But if that's true, then what that really means is what happens in this life is truly trivial compared to the next life. So I can't get too attached to everything that takes place in the world. because it's not going to last forever. I mean, obviously, we all have an expiration date, and, we're all set to die eventually. But if we get so attached to our worldly possessions and the worldly people that we're connecting with, which, is natural. I think it's very natural to get connected and attached to the people that you're connected to. But there's a difference between being connected to somebody and being attached to them. And whereas connection brings you, it's like connecting, power, energy transfers. Whereas attachment is more of like a sucking, parasitic taking of your energy. So, like I said, it's one thing to value connections, and it's another thing to live on attachments to other people. Especially because we can't take any of this with us. We can't take nothing with us in the afterlife. So, I really liked the end of the Serenity Prayer, which I actually have never read the whole thing before. Even working as a therapist and working with addicts, where the Serenity Prayer is like the pivot of, that's like the beginning of the meeting. But I liked that, especially the line where it says that I may be really reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. It's so much more of a powerful statement, So then the chapter kind of goes on, and it talks about what drives you, and that commonly people are driven by the wrong things. So if, for example, some of the examples that were given in the book was that some people are driven by guilt. Some people are driven by guilt to the point where they don't feel like they deserve certain things happening in their life, so they kind of don't take opportunities because they don't feel like they deserve it. Some people are driven by resentment, and they're driven by proving somebody wrong or anger, and it could drive them into the wrong direction because they're really living based off of somebody else. Some people are driven by fear to the point where they're scared to take chances. They're scared to make any leaps, and they kind of just stay in the same spot, their comfort zone. Some people are driven by materialism. I see this a lot in living in Miami. People are attached to their possessions, and it's all about, I have to work so hard because I need this and that and this and that. And then when they get all those things, they're never satisfied. Some people are driven by the need for approval of others. That's a big thing, whether it's the approval of your family. I guess the most I could relate to that because, my family, all of them were in the healthcare field when I was little, and I felt like that was what I needed to do. I needed to pursue a career in the healthcare field, and I went to pre-med, and then eventually I just realized it really wasn't for me, and I wasted a lot of time going to school. I've been in college for I did 4 years undergrad. Then I did 3 years master's. So I spent 7 years in college to end up not even pursuing a career in any of those things that I studied. And it was really mostly because I felt like this was what I had to do to fit into my family. So whatever it is that is driving you, be mindful of it, and be mindful of, in the long run, is this going to bring you into the direction where you want yourself to be in? And not only that, but is it bringing you closer to your purpose and the bigger picture of your purpose, not your worldly purpose that you might think yourself, but overall bigger picture, whatever it is that you believe, is it bringing you closer to your purpose? And then there's obviously some benefits to basically having a purpose and knowing what drives it. One of the benefits of knowing your purpose is that it focuses your life. And this one was big and resonating for me as well, because I have a tendency to get attached to doing very many things at the same time. I have my hand in a little bit of everything. And I've always said, I'm a jack of all trades, master of absolutely nothing. And that's because I have a short attention span. So it's very hard for me to focus. But if you want If you want your life to have impact, then you have to focus it. So I have to learn that. I have to start focusing on one thing at a time. And I'm hoping that after I read this book, I'll have more of a clear understanding on what that focus should be. So I hope that you guys are reading the book. I'm getting a lot from it. I feel like everyone can benefit from it, no matter what your beliefs are. And I hope that you guys liked my book review. I will be signing on tomorrow again for day 4. Bye.